Hello friends, let us discuss today the question which we gave yesterday. That question was from socio-political philosophy. So we will discuss to model answer of that question today. And today again we will take up another question from Western philosophy which we will be answering tomorrow. So now let us see what was the question and how it can be answered. Let us discuss that. See, the question of yesterday was a simple question, in fact. Is justice possible without equality? Now, basically, in this question, you have to deal with relationship between equality and justice, and you have to have a 360-degree examination of the whole. So basically, all aspects of equality and justice and how both are related, this needs to be dealt. So we have to quote various philosophers, we have to quote various thinkers, critiques, and then provisions from constitution, etc. And then we have to critically evaluate those things and then finally conclude. So this is the format of the answer. Now first let us see what is the relationship between justice and equality, and then subsequently we'll proceed. See, the relationship between justice and equality has been a central concern in moral, legal, and political philosophy. While some traditions uphold equality as a necessary condition of justice, others argue that justice can permit structured inequalities provided they are fair, reasonable, and morally defensible. So basically, there are two views. One, equality is necessary for justice. Another view, some kind of inequalities can also be permitted provided they are fair, reasonable, and morally defensible to ensure that actual justice occurs to weak, weakened and marginalized communities. So this is a relationship between justice and equality, in fact, two different interpretations. Now let us see some conceptual foundations of this. So basically, we will first start with Plato himself. Justice defined by Plato in Republic. Republic is a book written by Plato. He has defined that each class performing its function in societal harmony. So this is the justice as far as Plato is concerned. Aristotle, again, another book is Nicomachean Ethics, distinguishes between distributive and corrective justice, asserting that equals must be treated equally and unequals unequally, according to proportional merit, introducing conditional inequality. This was the Aristotle's view in prehistoric times. In modern thought, John Rawls, A Theory of Justice, he has written a book in 1971, proposes justice as fairness. His difference principle, he has given a difference principle, permits inequalities only if they improve the condition of least advantage. So this is the focus of basically difference principle of John Rawls. Now, another subsequent philosopher, Amartya Sen, he has given another theory, capability approach, emphasizes equality of actual freedoms and functionings rather than mere resources. So this is the definition of Amartya Sen, that you have to improve the capability of the individual and society or group to make them, to give them actual freedom rather than mere giving them resources. So for him, education is more important, health is more important, skill upgradation is more important rather than giving some cash incentives or something like that. So this is Amartya Sen. Now, what is how justice is related with structured inequality? So let us understand that this is also again justice without strict formal equality may be considered just in various scenarios. Earlier paragraph also we have seen that in certain scenarios, along with structured inequalities also, justice can be ensured in the society. So what are the various scenarios? So let us understand that. Affirmative action policies inspired by B.R. Ambedkar supported by Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution has a number of provisions of reservations and other things. Promote equality by temporarily introducing group-based preferences to undo historical discrimination. So this is what is called affirmative action policies in Indian Constitution, inspired by B.R. Ambedkar. Now, second point, meritocracy supported by Michael Sandel and Aristotle justifies differential outcomes based on effort, talent, and contribution. So this is what another two philosophers, Michael Sandel and Aristotle. Then third point is need-based justice. Resonating Karl Marx advocates unequal distribution to fulfill individual requirements. That is the Karl Marxian principle, all of you know, from each according to his ability and to each according to his needs. So this is the principle, socialist principle or Marxist principle, whatever you can say. So now let us critically evaluate the whole idea or relationship between justice and equality, or justice and structured inequality. Thinkers like Robert Nozick, he has written the book Anarchy, State and Utopia, argue that justice depends on individual entitlements, not equality. This is his argument. Critics, however, argue that this view neglects structural disadvantages and entrenches inequality under the guise of liberty. Now, another thinker, modern thinker, Martha Nussbaum, argues that justice must account for human dignity and the real capacity to flourish, which strict formal equality often fails to secure. So this is the view of Martha Nussbaum. Justice must account for human dignity and the real capacity to flourish, which strict formal equality often fails to secure. So this is in a way very similar to what Amartya Sen has given, capability theory. So accordingly, Martha Nussbaum theory is also almost similar to that. Now, how we can conclude? Justice without equality is theoretically conceivable, but normatively insufficient. A true just society must ensure that inequalities do not translate into domination, marginalization, or denial of equal moral worth. So basically, the meaning is that justice can be ensured with formal equality plus certain structured inequalities, particularly for marginalized and weaker sections or neglected, historically neglected sections, so that they also get the justice. So this completes the model answer for yesterday's question. Now let us see the question which will be taking up tomorrow. Now this is from the Western philosophy, because in a rotation we are doing this. The question is, explain Aristotle's doctrine of four causes. Is it scientifically relevant today? I will again read it out. Explain Aristotle's doctrine of four causes. Is it scientifically relevant today? So this question we will be answering tomorrow. The model answer will give tomorrow, and tomorrow again we will take up another question from Indian philosophy, which will be answering day after tomorrow. And I mean, likewise, we will move on in the series to other sections, and this whole thing will continue till October end. So thanks a lot for watching today's video. We will meet again tomorrow with the model answer of today's question.